I'm testing out Camtasia right now too.
All right, fantastic. So, welcome everybody. You got Gil here live on your afternoon session. Welcome. If you are interested in how to build and make money online in the form of a website or blogging, then yes, definitely you are in the right place. I am going to let some of our co-hosts and active group members that are part of our accountability group do a quick mic test here for everyone. Lauren, can you do a nice little mic test for everybody?
Hey, can you hear me okay?
All right, we can hear you okay. And hey, looks like we got the little one here there too. That's pretty awesome. We can see and hear you clearly. Steve, I just heard you earlier, so your mic is good to go. Let's go ahead and jump right into our session today. Just a quick recap for everybody. If you aren't already on our list, you can go ahead and subscribe by entering your name and email. There's going to be a nice little pop-up window up above here, or a description in the YouTube video channel that you are watching this on, with contact information, so you can either call or email to jump onto the list. Now, as part of our thank you for joining us on this step-by-step series, we're going to go ahead and send you a complimentary membership into our affiliates and online marketing club. We're waiving the monthly fee. You get access to it for free, just for joining our list, along with some other cool bonuses as well. All right. So, Lauren, walk us through a quick recap of some of the items you covered yesterday, and let's start to segue into the advanced strategies. So you shared both some basic strategies yesterday. I can't wait till you jump on to some of the advanced tips and strategies you mentioned earlier, and then we'll transition to the second component of our session as I continue to build a website, an income-producing website from the ground up. Right, did a little over 20,000 here recently online, and we are recreating that process. So far we've got a domain name, we've got a website installed with some nice YouTube videos for you guys to follow along and do the same. So Lauren, I'm going to put myself on mute here, grab a pen and pad, and take some notes on the side. Go ahead and take it away.
Perfect. Thanks so much. So to recap, what we're going into is delving into videos, and basically the power of videos. We're going to get more into that as far as the SEO reasons and what you're going to do once you create videos. Right now, it's kind of the backstory or foundation of what you need to be thinking about when you go ahead and start shooting videos. Yesterday it was kind of just some basics, but also things to just keep in mind as far as when you're talking in the video. Make sure that your tone of voice is very authoritative. Remember, all of these videos are also helping you with branding, so people get to know and like you and trust you, and that's how you start to build rapport with your clients. So definitely keep in mind the way you talk, and then also continuing with that is to keep in mind who you're actually talking to, your avatar, like Gil touched on last week. Keep in mind of who your target avatar is, and then also people have a huge variety of, they have a huge variety of different personalities, and so you need to be able to address all of the personalities in your video. And we know that this is not going to be something that you master overnight. It's just by being aware of it and being conscious of it, hopefully you can get to the point that you can be able to start including all of these elements in your videos and getting phenomenal results. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and get into the PowerPoint. And today's kind of more advanced strategies, or just more things to think about for when you're starting to pull together video content.
Awesome. While you go ahead and do that, I will check our little chat box here, check the text messages if anything had come in or popped up while we are live on this particular session. It looks like I can see the screen as your icon now. Go ahead and I'll turn it over back to you. See if we can get the screen broadcasted on there. Go ahead.
Awesome. Are you seeing my screen right now?
Yes, we can
Perfect.
see it. We got the money green popping up. You're good to go.
Perfect. Awesome. Yeah, money green. Okay, perfect. So more in-depth strategies, not so much advanced, but just more stuff to start thinking about. And definitely, you'll probably have to go through yesterday's webinar and today's several times, and just because there's a lot to absorb. And like I said, you're not going to catch it the first time or even, the 10th time that you do it, but just to start being aware and bringing those elements into your videos. So the biggest thing is that you need to capture their attention at the very beginning to break their state. The world is full of distractions like that. So you want to do something random to try to get your audience's attention. You can say something like, does it smell like popcorn in here? And suddenly, a viewer who's watching your video is like, wait, what? What did they say? Other times people... yeah.
I just started thinking of popcorn. I was like, where's the popcorn?
Exactly. So just things to keep it mixed up. That's also why, like in these webinars, you can just, it's okay to be yourself and say something random or, oh, shoot, I have to go, the kid needs something. If you take even a 30-second breaking video, that suddenly somebody who's maybe they're listening to the webinar but perhaps multitasking, maybe somebody sent them a text message so they're responding to that, and they're not quite giving you their undivided attention, but suddenly you say something random or you take a break in your video and they're like, wait, what happened? Why is it quiet? And then they're paying attention to you, and all you did, you told your audience, hey, I'm going to go take a water break or something. But for the people that are kind of half paying attention to you, it makes them kind of wake up and say, what did I miss? What's going on? And it makes it's a way to start to keep your audience's attention. We live in a world full of distractions, and what you want to do is have your thing be what's distracting them from the world around them. So in that way that they'll really pay attention to what you're saying. Another one kind of tying into this, but it's that you can use a bold statement. Like if I told audience members right now, stop being a wussy and just take action, you'd be kind of offended if I said that. But somehow, if you say it like somebody else is saying it, like, hey, my boss told his son, stop being a wussy and just take action already. And, even my 4-year-old just looked up, what, mommy? So it's enough to break their attention. But by saying that in a quote sentence, like, oh, somebody told me the other day, and then you say that, it's the audience, you're getting the same attention capturing. However, you're not offending them by directly telling them to, just take action and buy something, or, pay attention right now, or whatever it might be. As if you're using and referencing somebody else having made that statement and you're just repeating it, your audience is not going to take offense to what you're telling them. Another thing is visualizations. Those are definitely a key component. You cannot not think about something or form a visual when an idea is mentioned. Like if I talk about a purple elephant, all of a sudden you have an image of a purple elephant, and even though the image is gone, in the back of your mind you're still kind of thinking, wait, why did she have a purple elephant just appear? Or you're kind of wondering a little bit about that. So definitely painting visuals. It goes back a little bit into yesterday's segment as far as relating to the ways that people learn, which is visual, emotional, and auditory. However, with the visuals and painting that picture, if you mention purple elephants, right now that little graphic should come to mind. The other thing that you want to do is be careful not to paint the image of something that you don't want your audience not to do. Some salespeople will tell you, hey, if you listen to my webinar right now, it can change your life and all this stuff. Or you can choose to, close down your computer and walk away, and all of a sudden what they did, the idea behind that is cool. They can be successful or turn off their computer. But by you painting the image of turning off the computer and walking away, suddenly that option is in their mind. Versus instead a better idea would be, hey, if you listen to this webinar, don't listen to it if you don't want to increase your business by 5 times. If you can't, if you don't want to, have $5,000 a month coming into your bank account and going on vacation with your family, that, you don't have to do that. And just by painting that kind of a picture, your subconscious doesn't hear the not. Your subconscious just hears whatever it might be. You have an image in mind. A purple elephant, suddenly you have an image of a purple elephant. If I'm going to talk about something else, hey, I'm going to go swimming, suddenly an image comes to mind of something, relating to swimming in your example. So just be aware and be very conscious of painting visualizations, and that also ties in the emotional connection that your audience is going to have through their videos. The big thing is to be ambiguous. Wait, hold on. What does ambiguous mean? That one is being able to be understood in more way than one, or relatable to many. A great example is this image. This is an example of an ambiguous image because people can either see a vase or they can see two faces. They can even look, and once you're aware of it, you can
Lauren?
almost trick. Yeah,
I'll just jump in real quick. Let's give try to reshare. Okay, there we go. Now I see what you're seeing, the images. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So this image itself, once you're aware and you can see both sides, either the white vase or the shadow of the silhouette of two people, you're aware of it and you can see both sides and that there's more ways to appeal. So when you're going to be ambiguous in the form of marketing, you want to have non-specific emotions. Rather than being very, if you're painting the picture of success, you don't want to necessarily paint what your picture might be as success. My dream house is different than somebody else's dream house. So you want to be able to, hey, think about your dream house. Where are you? What does it look like? But yet you want to not be so specific that other people are not going to relate to whatever the picture is that you're painting in mind. And it'll allow lots of personalities and people to be able to relate to what you're saying by getting your point across but not being too specific on what you're doing. An example that I saw from a marketing campaign is somebody says that this computer is everything you expect from a performance desktop PC. So in that case, a gamer can relate that, that's going to help me exactly what I want from a performance PC. Whereas a graphic designer is going to expect the same performance and what they're looking for out of a PC. So that's a great idea, as just being aware of where people are and being, that kind of context of an ad is going to be relatable to lots of different people so that they feel that they're going to get what they're expecting by being ambiguous in whatever their statement might be. Also being able to connect, or they call it pace through different levels, but it's basically connecting to your audience at whatever situation that they might be right now. If you're going to be talking about income, then you would want to start your story from relating to your audience when you were broke. Most of us have had times where we struggle. If you were fortunate not to, then you would need to relate to somebody else's story perhaps where they were broke and started out to get to know success. So by starting at the very bottom level of whatever it is that you're building to, you're going to be capturing the people that are at that level and then rising up. So not only are you taking somebody who's broke and showing them the different process to start making money, but it's the people that maybe they're not broke right now, but now they're at the stage that they're starting to make money, but they don't have time to themselves. They're self-employed. That's the pitfall that I found myself in. So it's being able to connect with people on every step of your ladder so that they can join your team, relate to you, again, that building credibility and rapport and being relatable to your story, and then people are more inclined to participate with what you want them to do, whether it's buying something or branding, getting your message across. But you share your story of success, and they're going to be much more inclined to follow you.
Just want to, add something when it comes to pacing. You can do this all in one session, right? So let's say if you've got a 45-minute to 1 hour webinar or training series, then you can definitely pace through several different scenarios or levels, right? So for example, you start out at ground zero, no money, and then you work your way up to the point where you have a success story. Definitely take note of what Lauren was saying on there, on how if this is, start with your personal experiences. That's what people out there are looking for. Authentic, real stories that they can relate to, right? Now, if you have not achieved or don't have that personal experience, some people, like Lauren have mentioned, are starting out that in a much better financial position, right? Or that you are still at a point where you are looking to achieve financial goals. Then fill in the gaps of those experiences by using other people's stories, other people's scenarios, and that way you can fill in the material and be able to pace through those different levels and share an exact or a good example for it. Now, if you have a micro session or if you have a shorter window, then I would definitely recommend breaking it up. Okay, and instead focus on one specific scenario or a story about, let's say, when you were first getting started out, with little to no money, okay? And in 10-15 minutes talk about that scenario so that you can really connect with your target at that point, or the avatar that you have in mind, which is somebody who has limited or is starting out with similar scenarios and resources, and then do separate videos targeting different other at different other pacing levels. Go ahead, Lauren.
Yeah, so yeah, and exactly, there's different ways to relate through it, but especially if you're going to talk about pacing through different levels, the best way or the best example would just be exactly to paint a story. So it's more if you're going to share your personal experience or a story, then that's where you'd want to start at pacing and start from the very bottom and then go up. Embedding a command. This one is something that I'm also working on too. The idea is pretty cool behind it. But it's injecting a command into a sentence that wasn't otherwise a command. And it's also just, behind the scenes aspect, it bypasses your subconscious to place the idea directly into your subconscious. And it's basically, it's telling something to somebody without actually telling them. Some great examples would be you probably already know, and then lead into what it is that you want them to know, but by phrasing it with that at the beginning, suddenly, their conscious mind is relaxed and is like, oh, okay, I got this, whatever they're saying, because I probably already know about it. I wouldn't tell you to blink because, so it's just these kind of ways, not to trick people, but just to put their subconscious at ease. So that way they're going to be actually listening to what you say instead of, having that, conscious, oh, well, I don't need to learn that, or, have that defensiveness put up. This is basically having people be unguarded and just being more receptive to what it is that you're sharing. Another one is, I could tell you that, but, and then leading into whatever it is that you wanted to share. You don't have to. Or some people say, so all of these are just some examples of different ways to just, phrase whatever it is that you want them. If you're going to tell them to buy something, you don't have to buy this. However, if you do want to make your income grow to, $5,000 a month, then, this would be a good idea, but you don't have to. So that's where it's kind of that idea of embedding the command, go buy it, except you're actually telling them that they don't have to. So it's just a kind of a great way to get around the defensiveness that people automatically put up. Anything to add there? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, wanted to add on there. We used to be in the direct. We used to do direct sales, which is a fancy way of saying I would walk up to a business, knock on their front door, and talk about office supply solutions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one of the ways that we would, quote unquote, embed a command or stress on the importance of a product or service is what we call the Jones effect, right? Everybody wants to try to keep up with the Joneses. And so you can open and use transition statements like, well, your neighbor Bob or business owner Jim, the local printer, signed up recently, and here are some of the benefits that he's liking today. All right, or Bob, Jim, and Susie, 3 other businesses in the area, have already made the switch to our faster internet connection. Right, so it gives third-party validation and proof, and you're not coming off as too pushy when you transition and use those type of embedded commands or referencing the Jones effect, so to speak.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, that definitely clarifies things too. So exactly, just to the whole keeping up with the Joneses. Social archetypes. Hold on. What's an archetype? An archetype is a common character or scenario that people can relate to, such as the hero or, the struggle, the rags to riches. So these ones are common archetypes as far as people, and you can kind of read the list, but there's different scenarios and stories, and these are just kind of the common characters that we find either in fictional fairy tales or even connecting in real life. There's different aspects of those, and we all have different aspects of the archetypes within us as well. So I was curious, so I did myself. So apparently I'm 45% of the visionary, 35% royal and 20% intellectual. So just kind of being aware of what you fall, that would be what I normally express. So I found it very helpful to figure out where I follow in, so I can connect definitely to those people that have those qualities, but also be aware of how to connect to the people that don't have the same qualities as me, and be consciously aware of, oh, well, somebody who's the caretaker, maybe I can address things and phrase something a little bit differently if my, target avatar has more of those caretaker qualities than I do.
Now, Lauren, we'll give a second for your screen to pop up on there. You have a nice little slide that we missed there earlier, so let's let it reset. A question, how did you... Oh, okay, archetypes.com, duh. Learn something new every day. But all right, so that's... is this a free test that people can take, or what's
it's a free test.
there?
All I did, it was totally free. I just found it online when I was, pulling together the different list of archetypes, and just happened to come across this. I just logged in with my Facebook ID, so I didn't even have to create a username or anything crazy. And it was very interesting questions. It didn't take very long, and I just thought the feedback on it was great to know where I stand exactly, so I can definitely connect to those 3 personality types that I have, and then be aware of, exactly my target avatar or whoever it is that I'm speaking to, on how to, okay, well, since I don't naturally have that caretaker or rebel archetype going on, how do I connect to those type of personalities? So I'll be curious to see what your archetypes are, Gil.
I know. I'm going to take this little questionnaire today. I'll share it on tomorrow's session on there. Mine will probably end up like a triangle or a square or some weird shape on there. I don't know. I'll take it later today. That is pretty cool.
Yeah, so just being aware of kind of what your personality is, and then how to relate. And then the other thing is then the story archetypes. So these ones are the common, they say pretty much every fictional story is going to have aspects of this. So overcoming the monster, whatever it might be. It could be, relating to an addiction problem or something, maybe an abusive relationship. Just things like that where people overcome something. Rags to Riches, very self-explanatory. There's the voyages, the comedies, the tragedies, all of these different aspects. So where we're bringing this in as far as video marketing and all this stuff, this is kind of the aspect of a story that you share, whether it's, it's maybe not so much related to a marketing standpoint as far as you're trying to sell something. However, this is building your brand. So for me, I can definitely share if I'm trying to build up my brand, in my Animal Party business. If I share a story of how we got the business started from the Rags to Riches type of story, we literally started with $50 each a piece to go buy a chinchilla for the weekend, and funded it from just working the parties themselves, and build up this Rags to Riches story. Although it's not trying to sell people on Reptacular, people can connect to this archetype in this story and relate to, I had a time in my life where I had the Rags to Riches story or scenario. And that's where it's really about branding and connecting with people by sharing these common archetypes, themes in your life. Chances are that your audience has had these kind of stories in their own life, and then they're just going to relate to you and get that credibility and branding and really want to get to know you and like you because you're relating to them. And this one is an open loop strategy. This is definitely in the form of a sales strategy. So it's wanting to give value, but your value, they can't complete it unless they take the action that you're requesting. For example, you give your audience some great strategies, but they can only implement them via the product that you're trying to sell. So I definitely see that on a lot of webinar things, and that's also what we're just giving value for ourselves, and you're going to be able to get the value and take the action for the most part without having to buy something. Now, yes, if you're going to, create a website, you have to go buy a domain name and you have to get hosting. But as far as a product or something, we're just giving value. But a lot of the sales strategies, they're going to give you a little bit of value, but then, hey, you can't go actually do that unless you have, ABC product. So that's just a strategy specifically on selling that you can offer to get people to take the action that you want them to do. So basically it's you do a how-to video, so this would be video sales, plus, once they take the action on the product that you're actually selling, that will equal the really big result that you connected to in your sales video where you maybe shared your rag to riches archetype story, and then the product is what got you from the rag to riches. So people connect to your story, they want the product so that they can get the same big result that you got. And yep, so pretty much we'll go into more, but recording your first video, relax and be yourself. We know it's a lot harder. It's definitely scary with the time you first record your video. The biggest thing is you're not allowed to edit it because all it will be is a time suck and you're never going to be happy with it and you're never going to upload that video. So whatever it might be, I see a lot of people, and I've done the ones where you shoot the video when you're driving and you're just talking to somebody else. Those videos tend to be pretty well because you're you're concentrating on the road, not semi-concentrating, but that way it makes you a little more relaxed. It's not quite as directly staring into a computer screen and trying to record a video. So, something like that where you're relaxed. Don't edit it. Just put it up to YouTube, and, you can tag Gil or myself on it. We can take a look at it and give you feedback. But just go out there and just start recording your first video. And, watch these webinars and these segments again so you kind of get the gist of what you want to be aiming through for whatever it is that you're saying. And yep, don't overthink it. Just go out and do it. And that'll be a wrap on this part.
Awesome, fantastic. So welcome to those that are just joining us here. I see a couple people trickling in from I think it was from Facebook is where they're getting the forwarding link. So welcome, guys. Hopefully you can hear me. You can see us live on the session. I will share my my little screen here in a bit for everybody, and we will jump right into our my segment, which is the building the website step by step from the ground up. Okay, so let me adjust my screen here so that in the recording it pops up nicely, and we do get all the critical components on there, right? Replays are made available soon after the live session. They do get uploaded into a YouTube channel. Go ahead and subscribe to that YouTube channel so that you can stay on top of the latest updates, feedbacks, and if there's any changes in schedules on our live sessions. You guys just heard Lauren's segment where she caters directly to our business, our professionals, and those that are in our group coaching program, where we offer accountability and actually check on these action items. That way you can continue to move forward, get some feedback on what you're doing, and get some direct support as well. You guys are welcome to email us questions, join us live on these sessions, and type them in so that we can address them while we are live here on our Hangout, right? So that's pretty cool. Definitely take advantage of that. Thank you to those that just subscribed to the YouTube channel and have also sent an email joining our subscribers list. If you haven't already done so, there will be contact information in the description section of this YouTube video if you're watching us on YouTube. If you are watching this on a post in somebody's blog or on a website, which we are going to launch and start promoting, there will be contact information there on how you can send in your questions, or if you're looking to get started making money online, right? So what is this series all about? If you're interested in having an income producing website, making money off of your website or generating an online income, that's what these sessions are for. Okay, you're following along step by step as we build out a website that you can do yourself or outsource. All right, and while we're doing that, we do cater to our group coaching students as well. It's the type of support that we like to provide here for our teams. Okay, so you guys should be able to see the screen here. Let me go ahead and share that with you. Full screen. Got that one going. All right, so I got the mirror effect going on, so I know that's working. Lauren, is the screen coming out okay?
Yep, I can see you.
All right, fantastic. So what did we talk about yesterday? This is a step-by-step video series on how I am building a website putting it all together in the simplest possible way. All right, so that anybody can do it. And believe me, if I can do it, you can definitely do it. So yesterday we talked about how to buy a domain name, the importance, what is a domain name, along with a hosting account, how to connect that to your web hosting, and making sure that you have installed WordPress or WP. Okay, so we are going to use a WordPress based website. Explained what these technical terms are as well, and you can watch the step-by-step video series so that you can do the same and get a website up and running. To our group coaching members, and for those that are following along in the accountability portion of this series, we hope you guys do have your website finally up and running. I do have a website that I am building, piecing together for everybody on here. Let me show you what that's going to look like. It's a little bit nicer now. You know, we got a nice little theme installed and all that good stuff, right? But definitely a lot of improvements that we will need to make. And so here's where we stand on this website. So we are not quite at the 20,000 income producing website yet, but believe me, we will definitely get there. Okay, so what are we going to talk about today? We're going to continue our series and we're going to open the session on plugins. Okay, explain a little bit about what plugins are. That way you know what we're talking about and you can get comfortable with the lingo. Give me a couple weeks, guys, and you'll be internet savvy, definitely comfortable, and they'll think you're a pro, right? So what is a plugin? And what are we supposed to be doing with these plugins? Okay, Lauren, you can still see the screen, okay?
Yep, I can see it perfect. Now, I don't know on your end, but because I see the little green things that you're recording. So from my perspective, it looks like you're cutting off a little bit at the bottom.
Correct. It is chopping off a little bit at the bottom.
Just making sure. No worries.
Thanks for the heads up. Awesome. Okay, so what is a plugin? You know, what are the good ones? What are the bad ones? Which ones are just full of hype? First of all, a plugin is improves your site performance and features. Okay, WordPress uses something called plugins to expand the functionality of your blog. All right, so you can, for example, find a nice little plugin that would add a calendar to your blog. There's also some cool little plugins that would show you where your subscribers or where viewers are, what country and cities and states they are viewing your website from. So that's pretty cool. It's got like a nice little map that pops up on there. Now, there are thousands of plugins that can do nearly anything you would ever want your blog to do. Right? Another good example here is a plugin that might be used as an opt-in form so that people can get onto your email list, right? So for example, Gravity Forms, right? This helps build a list. Once people submit their email, they'll email you the information that somebody had opted in. Okay, and there are free WordPress plugins that can also do this. Gravity Forms is a paid plugin. All right. Now, what's the main difference between a paid and a free plugin? I can't tell you how many conversations I have where people are using, you know, they're raving about free plugins, but at the same time, I always, you know, caution people that, you know, be careful with the free plugins. The biggest difference, first and foremost, is the support. Okay. Now, with a paid plugin, there is a you know, better ease of use and functionality. Gravity Forms is a much more powerful form builder than the free version or plugin like Contact 7, for example. Right now, Contact 7 is more than enough though if you just need simple functionality. Okay, but that's one of the biggest differences. First and foremost, support. All right. Second, you can actually email the creator, or there is a company that you can contact if you have any questions with regards to that particular plugin, if you're having any tech problems or any clarification questions. Right? Now, don't go too crazy on the plugins, and I do advise against loading up on plugins. As we mentioned earlier, plugins can drag down the load times and slow that down for people that are trying to view your web page. And if people have a hard time viewing your website or your content, then that would result in them closing the window or moving on to another website that has a faster load time. Right? We call that a bounce rate. So the higher your bounce rate are people just leaving the site, barely spending any time to view the video or the post that you've done on that particular day. All right, moving forward here. Lauren, if you have any questions or clarifications, feel free to jump in. I'll go ahead and touch on the essential plugins that definitely a must-have for any authority blog or income-producing website. Anything to clarify so far?
No, I mean, but I also feel, I mean, hopefully we're doing a good enough job explaining it from the, you're doing a good job, because I'm like, well, because I kind of have a background on it, so I think that people that have absolutely no background, you know, just hoping mutually that they kind of get the gist of it, but I think you're doing a great job.
Okay, so put yourselves in the shoes of a new beginner, guys, especially those that we do have co-hosting and are content contributors. If there's anything not clear, you know, we want anybody to be able to view this and get it. Right? I know the internet and you know, social media, blogging, all that stuff, you easily get lost in the technical terms. So if we need to break it down even further, jump in, guys, let me know so that we can explain things a whole lot better and clear, right? So plugins. These are the essential plugins that I definitely will have in a blog and can recommend to anybody. We do have some other booster plugins, which I'll talk more in detail. But in terms of getting your website up and running and installing these, we do have a walkthrough video so that you can install these same plugins in your blog, and then we'll go into some of the really cool higher level advanced plugins that you can add in. But you do need these basic components first, right? Now the first plugin is Akismet, tomato, not quite sure how to pronounce that. This plugin is already installed by default as part of your WordPress website, but you do have to activate it. Okay, and you'll see that in the walkthrough video on how to activate the plugins. This plugin filters comment spams, right? So that's definitely useful. You don't want your blog getting bogged down by bots or phony content or spam, right? The second is WordPress SEO by Yoast. Right? To add search engine optimization functionality, and I'll talk more about SEO, search engine optimization. Basically, that is to help Google index, find, feature your particular website so it knows what you're about and it can put your content in front of the people that is looking for it. Okay, we have a couple business owners that are logging into these sessions. So this is so that your target market can find your company, your product, your service, and make the purchase or schedule a consultation to take that next step and move forward with you if it's a win-win scenario. Now, Dig, this is to add social media sharing functionality onto your blog. Contact Form 7, this is to help build your list. All right, we talked about the paid version, which is Gravity Forms. For something very simple and free, you can start out with Contact Form 7. All right, WP Super Cache or Cache, right? This is to help speed up the load times of your blog so that it loads quicker on the browser for the person that's checking it out. Especially if they're visiting your site, you know, a couple of times. This will help speed the load times. Now, the next plugin is the title split testing. Okay, title split testing, and this plugin helps you learn what titles are working best on your blog. What are the catchy stuff? We talked about Astrological Love, a book that was released, you know, a couple of years ago and sold less than 5,000 units. Re-released you know, later on under the title How to Please a Woman Every Single Time. Same book, changed the title, sold over 1 million copies, and was a New York Times bestseller, right? So title split testing is going to give us insight onto which titles people are responding to and how to better connect and build a relationship with our list. Google Analytics, okay? Needless to say, this will help you keep an eye on your traffic. Where are people finding your blog? How are they searching for you? What's the demographic of the current people you have visiting your site? That is like reading their minds and being able to deliver the content exactly on what they're looking for or what best fits their scenarios, so that you create a brand loyalty and a killer subscriber list, right? Pretty Link Lite. What does this one do? Shrink, track, and share any URL on the internet from your WordPress website. So instead of having a really long, funky looking www address, you can shorten that so that it doesn't look very intimidating, and it makes it easy for the person to click and go to the link that you are referring them to. We use this in our resources when we share the websites, the content, and the vendors, so that you can find who we're doing business with if you're looking to outsource, if you're looking to apply the same content or strategies or tools to your particular business and blog, right? Then there is Click to Tweet. All right, click to tweet. This adds tweet boxes to your WordPress posts easily. That way it helps promote your content. People can share it and encourages them. Hopefully the goal is to go viral or to get your content featured and passed around, so that it continues to build your ranking authority and your subscriber list. All right, and again, our goal right now, first and foremost, we want to achieve 1,000 subscribers for your market, for your niche, for your company, okay, or for your affiliate product, for example. Right? Google XML sitemaps. What is this one for? This plugin will generate a special XML sitemap, which will help search engines like Google, Bing, Yahoo, and Ask.com to better index your blog. It can read your site, it knows what it's about, and it knows where to file it in its giant category filing system, so that it's better organized and they can feature you for relevant search terms and what people are looking for in the online space, right? Last but not the least, there is WP Backup Plus, right? This is automatic backup for all your sites. This, guys, is exceptionally useful as we build out our income producing website or our money blog, right? You will make some changes to it. You're going to want to change the layout maybe, or you're going to want to test a theme, or try out a plugin, just basic updates to your site, right? Some of you guys are going to want to test multiple things. You definitely want to have a backup copy of your site, so if anything happens, you can quickly revert back to the last successful setting and minimize the downtime of your website. I do use a specific software in addition to this, so that I can continue to update and work on my site without causing it to crash, right? And we'll talk more on that one later on. If you guys are looking to outsource or for some done-for-you solutions, check the resources, and there will be some recommended vendors that can help you with the plugins installation. Now, if you had outsourced your site, your WordPress installation, then that very same person could be a good resource or can make some good recommendations or plugins. Chances are they also will have a background and can help you get those plugins installed. Check our walkthrough videos first. Watch them in its entirety before you start clicking on the links and the vendors, so you get an idea of how that is going to flow. All right. Yes, we will get to the super advanced, super cool plugins. For example, how to, plugins that would automatically tie your article. So if you talk about electronics, okay, there are some really cool plugins which would build out affiliate links based on keywords in your article, in your paragraph, right? And so you don't have to manually find the product, find the word in your article, and create that link. We'll touch on some of those things, but that way you have an idea of some of the cool plugins that we're sharing and talking about here. Some of them I'm absolutely stoked and excited about it. True Automation, which I'm an absolute fan of, right? Any clarifications on plugins, guys? Or girls?
Good to go on here.
All right, fantastic. Okay, so
actually, are any of those that you mentioned paid ones, or
You know what? I did it. with these ones, you guys should be able to find them. I believe the only, you know what? I think these are all good to go. Critical ones, and I'm assuming that they're all free. If they're paid, we will have it in the resources on where you can find the paid version. But I believe on the 11 essential ones, these are free. Let's go ahead and check and find out right now.
Yeah, I heard the Kismet because I was looking at that, and it's like it's cheap. It's like $5 a month or something like that. But it was that you have to. Well, when I was looking at it for my blog, it was a paid one. However, then my graphic designer that's redesigning like my entire company website said, no, it is free. So I'm like, but it was asking me for a subscription. So I don't know if you know anything more on that.
I would definitely, from what I know, it is, yeah, it should be free. I would double check the site that you're looking at to see what the paid version will get you. In the detailed walkthrough video, we'll definitely tackle it on there. But let's do a quick walkthrough right now. Google XML sitemaps, free, right? Click to tweet, get it now. What's CoSchedule, how it works. This may be a paid version, or they will have a paid plan on there, so that one is a paid version. Pretty Link WordPress plugin. No pricing options on there, so this is looking like a free one. Definitely double check and again, depending on where you are at experience wise and capital wise, whatever would fit and work with your budget. If it's something that, you know what, it's paid, I would put it onto the paid section as you move forward and take a look-see, and then we can review which of the plugins to finally install as long as it fits your budget, because there will be some paid components that you will have to have as part of your blog moving forward, like your domain name and hosting, right? Both paid components that you definitely will need to have and include.
So then just to restate that, so that means that pretty much your 11 ones that you're saying that they should go ahead and spend on, you know, if there's ones that I saw that one for $10, so they should go ahead and do that rather than look for a free alternative. It's just better to go ahead and buy that one.
Yeah, if you are thinking between using the paid or the free version, I would rather you go with the paid version. Again, support and the functionality of the blog. If it's a free version, you know, it may crash the blog, it may slow it down, it may do the complete opposite and do wonders. But I think if you're just getting started out, definitely I'm leaning towards the paid version of it. Hold off on buying it if it doesn't fit the budget, but don't go with the free alternative quite yet.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
Awesome. And we're looking at some of these ones. Some of them are pretty evident as to whether or not they're paid, and so far there's only 2 that popped up that are paid, which you'll definitely have to purchase in order to download and install it. All right, cool. So those are the 11 essential plugins. Majority of these are free, and there will be a walkthrough video on the plugins on how to get that one installed. Really easy, simple, and straightforward. Okay, so as we continue and we're building out the website, we've now successfully installed WordPress onto our website. I've got a nice little theme that I'm using on here. There will be resources as to which theme and layout we're using. The layout that I have chosen and selected is based on 2 things. First and foremost, it allowed us to build a paid subscriber base. Okay, so what resonated more with people signing up to join our list? And out of the people that signed and joined our list, how many successfully were converted into monthly paying subscribers just to the website and to the blog itself? That doesn't include monthly recurring revenue that you can generate by offering other products that are out there, which we'll talk more about. All right, so the website itself is income producing based on this layout. Some layouts tested and worked out better than others. They were more responsive and helped get people opted in. Second, it's just a fun, funky looking layout that helps keep more people exploring and engaged within the website, right? So those are the 2 main components on why we've chosen that theme, and you can check out the resources. Now, you've got your 11 essential plugins to install. Okay, the next thing to do is to break down the main sections of your website. So that's going to be your About Us page, your terms of service, and a couple other good components that you definitely need to have, right? So these are the core components of your website that I'll break down and discuss in detail, give you guys a background or 101 overview of it. We're hitting our 49-minute mark, so I'm almost like, do we tackle this tomorrow? Do we get this out of the way today? Lauren, what do you think? Do we have some time to get into this? Because I do have, I would say maybe another 1, 2, 3, 4, about 8 slides that would quickly break the website, break down the main components of the site itself, so that everybody can start piecing together these things, or should we hold off on tomorrow? What do you think?
I would say just go ahead and share it, because pretty much the plugins, it's just a matter of downloading them. So there's not too much, technical side of that. So I would say just go into building the blog, and if we run over a little over an hour, I think that should be okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm leaning towards too, especially since plugins.
For replays and stuff, they can watch it on their own time. It's not like they're, going to be confined into a very particular lunch hour.
Yeah, exactly. And, again, plugins will take you, a few minutes to install. This website component, you guys might have to look at, resources and to compile some of the content. And that way we can go into content creation for the actual blog and how, okay, so let's go ahead and jump into it.
Either way, Gil, the faster you get through your content, the faster we're making $20,000 a month, right?
Yeah, exactly. So let's jump right into it. Steve, I have you representing the accountability portion of this group. So you're taking you're the main voice speaking for the people that are following along. Should we just jump into this today? What do you think?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So let's get the website up. Some of you guys are already making sales, even without the website. What more with the website? So that's pretty cool. I will talk about how these guys are already generating sales just from the videos that we had talked about earlier, so that you can use that as a launch pad to build momentum. A quick 65, 100, couple $100, or maybe a little bit less than that. But hey, it's exciting when you make your first dollar online. Believe me. All right. So building the blog. We need to have main components to the website that help any user get comfortable knowing who you are, what you're about. All right. So I'll talk about each one, give you guys an overview, so that in time, once you start building your blog site, taking on coaching students and accountability partners there in your area, you'll be able to pass on the information and these core sections. First and foremost is the About Us page. All right. The About Us page. This is the elevator pitch. All right. The About Us page should start out with a brief elevator pitch. If you can't sum up what your authority site does and why it exists in 10 seconds or less, you might have a problem. The concept may not be very clear to you. All right, so definitely keep that in mind. The two main reasons to have the About Us page, first and foremost, is one, it allows you to come up with a great elevator pitch so that when you're out in public or when you're networking, you can share what you do is a clear concept and you can get some feedback from it, or quickly transition to move and build your subscriber base. First and foremost, it's your value proposition. All right, what's our value proposition? It gives you a clean, succinct way to explain your site's value proposition to potential clients and customers. Right? Second, laser focus. In the brand establishment phase, we talked about that earlier, it helps you stay laser focused on what your site is about and what it isn't about. It's an expanded version of your mission statement. Right? Another way to look at this is it's like coming up with your customer avatar. Creating an elevator pitch is another step in defining your website's reason for existing. All right. What's How to Make Money Online GPC.com going to be about, right? Let me share with you a good example of that here in the following statement, right? How to Make Money Online GPC.com follows one man's journey to make his family achieve financial freedom and exit the rat race through an online internet income. His blog is a one-stop shop for all the most critical and relevant online income generating intelligence, traffic techniques, and high converting tools for men and women ages 18 to 50 who are interested in learning how to be completely financially independent using the internet or website. or blogging, right? Getting some good ideas here, realizing I do have to clarify a few things. But yeah, that's a good example. You can swipe that, fill in the blanks instead of how to make money online GPC, put your company or domain name or your website on there, and edit the following statements. But again, it's a clear, it's a nice little elevator pitch, and it gives you a clear direction to head over and move forward, right? This short blurb identifies the brand name, the topic, right? How to make money on the internet. The customer avatar, 18 to 50, who are interested or seeking information on how to make money online or create a income producing website. The type of tone and the point of view, all right? We're talking how to make his family achieve financial freedom, exiting the rat race, right? So it's a following along, look over your shoulder type of point of view and tone. And that's our About Us page. If you guys have any questions, jump in. I'm going to transition here and talk about the next big page that you should have, and that is your terms of service, okay? What is your terms of service? It's your expectations and technicalities, all right? The terms of service or terms of use page is where things get slightly a little bit more technical. Limited liabilities are explained, any warranty disclaimers, if applicable, all right? And there should be included here as well copies of those additional, any warranty disclaimers rather, all right? You should also add a refund policy information, any affiliate disclaimers, and copyright notices in this particular section. The idea is to protect you by establishing clear ground rules about doing business with you and your authority site from the very beginning. Now, a nice little example that I have here for you guys is the terms of service for, I believe this is Instagram, right? So you can check out their terms of service, right? Just a little fun example there for you. Fortunately, there are free templates and services you can use to generate your terms of service and get started, right? Couple of these sites that you can check out is termsfeed.com. These will all be in the resources. Freenet Law and entrepreneur.com, right? The easiest one that I found to use is termsfeed.com. You'll see that here in a second as we let this page load. Now, as always, right, this is not legal advice. Definitely want to, have that checked out eventually and later on. But it definitely stuff that you'll need to have, and these sites will walk you through it step by step. So Terms Feed has taken a second to load, but free website terms and conditions. Go to freenetlaw.com for this one, and it'll literally walk you through step by step on how to go ahead and fill that out. You can also download it. Here we go. So privacy policy, terms and conditions, or terms of use. And they're nice little template generators that you can walk through. Right, so standard copies of them. And yes, this will be in the resource section. Alright, so that's the terms of service. Next slide, privacy policy page. This is your subscriber data and info. Alright, the privacy statement explains the website's views and practices concerning privacy and how they may pertain to your users. The ability to use personal, demographic, and profile data to enhance the user experience at your site is a valuable advantage because you will be using the plugins that we mentioned earlier, Google Analytics, taking a look at where your traffic's coming from. This is useful data that you to have in producing and creating your content so that you can really connect with your brand. But at the same time, you also want to make it known that, hey, that you're anti-spam and that their information will be secure. It's not information that you're going to turn around and resell. That's not the business that we're in or the model that we are applying, right? Anti-spam. Okay, make sure to let your users know that you're complying with anti-spam policies, that they can opt out of your communication emails and subscriber list, and if applicable, that their information may be disclosed to a third party. All right. Like the terms of service, there are options available to help give you a jump start. And you can check out lubenda.com or freeprivacypolicy.com. All right. Let's see here. A good example of a privacy policy page. Rich Dad's privacy statement, right? RichDad.com. I went through their program, bought several of their courses, an absolute raving fan of Cashflow 101. This is an example of their privacy statement. All right, so you can check that out. You can view these links on your favorite companies and vendors and websites by scrolling all the way to the bottom. There tend to be links on there to these page sections. Okay, privacy policy page. All right. Next up, trademarking your site page. Some of you guys are curious about trademarking your branding and your content. May not be something you want to jump right into right now if you're still in the stages of finding your voice and building your brand. But we'll talk a little bit about trademarking it, right? There are more fronts to cover than ever when it comes to staking out a brand. Luckily, services have serviced to fill out the need and save you valuable time. Two that will let you simultaneously search trademarks, domain names, and social media are the following: KnownEM and Trademarkia. All right, cool little sites which will give you information on trademarks so that you know what you can purchase, how this works, and if somebody's already bought the rights to it, right? There will be links in our resources section. Now, Google and trademarks. Get common questions that pop up with regards to how do trademarks affect your authority or your site ranking. All right. Now, recent updates tell us the following. Google is looking at trademarks. It is a factor that they are taking into consideration, and they are using it as a ranking factor. So not only is it a good idea from an intellectual property protection standpoint, right? Because your story is your story, your experiences, your insights, the content you produce and you'll create, that could be worth a fortune one day, especially depending on how large a subscriber base you will be building. And the sky is the limit, right? So it's also potentially good for your SEO rankings. There are, in terms of overall rankings, trademark sites and content did score higher overall as opposed to those that aren't. So not something, you don't have to implement this now, but at least have that in the back of your mind as you move forward and take a look at that. Other resources which would be handy for this is the U.S. Trademark Office site and additional advice about exact domain name strategy. So the link will be here in the resources so that it'll take you to the online patent section, all right, and trademarks. All right. I think we do have a member, or Steve is doing a blog or a website on how to make money video gaming. That may be an untapped, uncarved territory or niche. A cool little thing to trademark so that once it goes viral and it becomes very popular, hey, you do control the rights and the content and the direction, and may be able to build something phenomenal, out of that particular site. And again, trademarking, right? Next page that we need to have. I can't stress how important this is. Site contact information, must have. Now, I know we're here to build an internet business that allows us to travel around the world, take weeks off, or be able to generate an income without taking a single phone call. I get that, right? But having a phone number on your website is an SEO trigger and an authority factor. Okay, we all know that the internet allows us to do amazing things, not the least of which includes running a business from a laptop. But you should still put a phone number on your site, even if you have 100% mobile and virtual business. It'll help you get found and overall ranking. Okay, it is a big authority trigger with Google. If you don't do it now, you do need to do it sooner rather than later. Sometimes people just want to talk to somebody or have the ability to call or leave a message, right? And it's not feel as though they're merely dealing with an online tool or a robot. Okay, there's still that personal touch to it, and just having that number will help. Now, couple things. What number will you use on there? Do not use your personal number on there. Do not use your Don't use your main business number. I recommend setting up a tracking phone number, a number dedicated to your website so you can find out how many calls are coming from that lead source and track that over time. All right. Now, while Google Voice number that goes to voicemail is okay, a landline number that's actually listed in the phone book is best. Some of you guys do not have a formal business. That is okay. You will still need a phone number that we can use to place online listings. For example, we're going to get registered with angieslist.com or yelp.com. All right. So a phone number that will get marketed and put out there and syndicated over time. Okay, so either way, use a phone number. Now, I don't use Google Voice. I personally use callfire.com. Okay, there will be a link in the resources so that you can check that out and see what they're about. But you can purchase local phone numbers, all right, and build out marketing campaigns at that point. Okay, so callfire.com is what I use. You can also check out vumber.com. If I were to pick one of the two, I would go with callfire.com because of its simple user face, great customer support. I have gotten on the phone with these guys hundreds of times, and very, very economical. All right, but site contact information. There is a standard format which we're going to use once we start marketing and promoting our company online. And one of those critical scoring factors in getting ranked is having a phone number. Pretty straightforward. How's the group doing? So far, so good, Lauren?
Yep, so far so good.
All right, all right. So we're on the home stretch here, guys. We're on the home stretch. You know, for those of you that are already internet savvy, fantastic. You're good to go. But, you know, again, we're catering this segment, all right? The advanced stuff, Lauren and their team handles all that. The basics, we want to show anybody how to get started on the internet. Make it really simple in a duplicable process. So bear with me. We're almost done here on the site components and pages, right? Promotional ads, all right? So we're starting to get into the fun stuff here, a little bit more exciting and interesting. Promotional ads, right? So if you notice on my website, it's bare bones right now. Where did it? Okay, so there's really not much on here, okay? But you can start placing ads on your site, right? Can you imagine a site with no ads? It would look kind of weird, wouldn't it? Well, the same can be said for your website. So for now, okay, even if you don't have any major advertisers, right? Time Magazine, National Geographic's not, you know, probably not pounding on your front door wanting to get ad space on your website. Or if you're blogging about real estate, you know, I don't know if Robert Kiyosaki would be, you know, chomping at the bits to advertise and pay you for that space. But hear me out for a second, right? Having ads on your site from the big companies will definitely help connect you with your target audience that your market already knows and respects, right? Now, yes, it is better if you get paid for these ads, but for now, our goal is credibility and branding. That's what we're building on and trying to piggyback. That's our main objective. Okay, it's not to create income from getting ads, not yet at least. We still need to build our subscribers and generate traffic to the website so that we can show advertisers we have X number of subscribers, we have this much traffic. But prior to that, okay, definitely have ads up from major companies in your industry so that you can get the credibility. Right? Why do we suggest big companies, you ask? In reality, the design and appearance of their ads aren't very nice or appealing. Some of them are just downright ugly, okay? But that doesn't matter as much as the company behind it. So if I'm blogging about real estate, Lauren, who's also in the real estate niche, maybe, you know, once she sees Rich Dad, it allows us to connect. Right? There is definitely a subconscious effect that happens. By merely putting a reputable or relevant website or company's ad onto your site or your money blog, you are allowing users to make a mental connection between you and the ad. We're trying to affect users on a subconscious level here. Okay, and the results have been very positive, despite the fact that most designers would say those ads are hideous. All right, so again, building credibility, that's what we want to do so that we can connect faster and build that connection with our target market and audience. So Lauren, just running some ideas, bouncing some ideas off of you. Your money blog, your new authority website. What's the market or niche that you're going into? What's it going to be about?
Mine is really,
I don't know if it's honestly too broad, but the idea behind it is to be able to connect to anybody that's interested in financial freedom and exploring all the different ways that might be connecting to them the best. So if, because I'm just looking at, hey, I want to get out of the rat race with passive income, so I'm exploring real estate investing. So people that are interested in that can find a connection. I'm also exploring the internet marketing thing, so people interested in that. So I don't know if this is too broad, and maybe that'd be a good feedback on it. But my thing is, hey, I just want passive income. Here's all the different options that I'm personally exploring. And then my hopes is anybody else interested in financial freedom will connect with one of those on there.
Okay, so we're looking at financial freedom journey, right? So similar niche along the lines. For those of you that are stuck on what to blog about, what to talk about, a financial freedom journey, a success journey is fantastic. Whether you sign on the dotted line with your real name and your true identity, or you create a pen name around it. All right, you can go with either direction. I like to go with the let people connect to who you are, but you can start out with a pen name when you first start out, right? So applying this concept, Lauren, having ads from the big companies out there, what are some big companies that you can feature and put on your website? Now, they're not going to cut you a check yet, right? But just to have them on there for credibility, what are some of the big brands and companies that you can put on there to create that credibility and have that subconscious effect on your target audience?
Well, Rich Dad Education, that's already a niche that I'm definitely looking at because I'm also going through their stuff. So that would be the first one that comes to mind. As far as other experts, I don't know if somebody like Dave Ramsey might be a good connection because he's more on the stay at your job, get financial freedom, and mine's like, we don't want a job. But that still is somebody that at least is talking about financial education. So that one might be a good one.
Nice, nice. Here's what I would do, right? So you start out with the Rich Dad Company, Robert Kiyosaki. He is, he has like an Oprah business model. He is the main, he's the guy that controls the brand. It's his company. But within his organization, he's brought up and promoted other people. His wife is now an authority in the personal finances for women. He has promoted his attorney, on the right type of business entity to set up and how you can protect your assets. And so that's another major brand or company and related ad that you could feature on there. So find who he has promoted.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, that
right?
makes sense.
So, because from your target audience perspective, okay, they know Rich Dad. Oh yeah, they know Kim. You know what I mean? They see the marketing, they see the branding on there, and then when they see another familiar face associated with the brand, like the Big Rat in Cashflow 101, so it does target them and has that subconscious effect. Steve, you're going into the gaming industry. So, what major gaming companies would you be having on your blog so that when people land on there, it's like, oh wow. The guy's decked out. It's a nice looking site. What are some major companies and brands you can have on your website?
Yeah, well, I guess ones that I would back, huh?
Definitely ones that you would back and trust. You want to have that would help. But for this case, in terms of ads, you want to make sure it's a reputable company at the very least, whether or not you have done business with them. Right? It's got to be a reputable one.
Yeah, like Steam would be a big one that a lot of people probably haven't heard of unless they're a gamer. But of course, there's stuff like Microsoft, who does PCs and the Xbox. There's, Sony. And I've actually done a little bit of research, and it just kind of clicked with what you were saying. But I mean, a lot of those big companies, when I started doing research, all have affiliate programs anyways. So it's very easy to put the big names in my industry on there and monetize it right away. Not huge huge commissions or nothing, but it's there, right?
Yeah, definitely. I would think, again, working on the fly here, Best Buy would be something pretty cool that
Yeah,
you could have on there.
Best Buy is one. Yeah, GameStop. Which is like a
GameStop.
store who sells Steam gift cards. All the big players of hardware. I have a really fancy mouse. I know you've seen. I have like this transformer mouse with all these things that come off and on it, and the manufacturer of that, is a big company that has ads and affiliate programs too.
All right. So again, some big companies that you can feature on there. You're not gonna, you don't have to deck out the whole site. You don't want to end up with a website looking like a NASCAR, right? But some big, some definitely some big companies that when they recognize it, they're like, oh, all right, authority. He's got Best Buy on there. He's got Microsoft on there. Lauren, Rich Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, the Rich Dad Group, Fortune Builders, Donald Trump. Again, major players in the real estate financial literacy niche that do heavy marketing. They're almost priming the pump, right? They're priming the pump for themselves. Clearly, that's the main goal of marketing and advertising. But you can get some of that spillover and that credibility pouring onto your particular site. So this is definitely one of the things that you guys would start adding to your blog, and in addition to these main sections, start pulling up some possible ads that you can have and feature on there.
Yeah, going along with that, I don't know if I'm just jumping the gun on it and you're going to touch on it, but how do you get an ad, say, for Rich Dad Education? Is that something that you design and just link to them, or you have to request it? I know that Steve mentioned, hey, some of them have affiliate programs, great, but if they don't have an affiliate program, how logistically?
How do you go about it?
Yeah.
Got it. So, again, a great, easy way to do this. We have a video series on image marketing. Right? All you would do is save the image, save the ad that they already have available that's out there on their site, on google.com, search for images. Take a look at the online marketing that they're doing. All right, that's the same image that you can use for your particular ads. Now, most of the, they do pay people to feature these ads for clicks, right? But in the meantime, we'll do some free marketing and promotion for them in exchange for the credibility that we'll be getting out of it by featuring them on the blog. So you can swipe the image online on whatever ads they do have available. Like if I had a corner store. All right, and I owned a shoe store. There's a sock store next door. I would just grab a flyer or a bandit sign or any signage for the sock store and just place it in front at the entrance of my shoe store. So that's what we're doing. We're getting existing ads and just placing them on the site. If they have an affiliate program in there, then that definitely helps out. But even if they don't, you can just feature the existing image ad on your site.
Great. Thank you so much.
Awesome. All right. So that leaves our promotion and blog section. And getting social. All right. So this is building out on the concept that Lauren had laid out in our earlier series about social media. Definitely will stress on that because now that you have these pages in place for your blog, we want to help promote it and go viral and get online traffic. So just to stress on some major key points, it is 2014, people, and 98% of the US population is online. Yes, they use social media. A quarter of the people worldwide are on social networks. And think about this. How many of your friends and family are on social media today, right? Even grandma and grandpa's on social media now. You see it on all the commercials that are pretty adorable, if you ask me. What happens if you're not on social media? Right, let's take a look at it here on the flip side. People may ask, does this business even exist? All right. This is where people are hanging out. In social media, right? We always get asked by our business and our coaching clients, how do you effectively reach your target market? Guys, go to where they are. Don't just assume that they'll go to you. Okay? When we had a storefront, we would have days where we would go out and hand out flyers. We would go to coffee shop and hand out flyers. We would go to schools and university and hand out flyers, right? The beauty of the internet business model is that you don't have to go anywhere physically. You can sign on to Facebook like what Lauren had showed us how to do, okay? Join an active group and community, and that's where people are, quote unquote, hanging out. You can hear what they're talking about, see what they're saying. In the YouTube walkthrough videos, I even show you where some of these vendors are hanging out online, where they are posting promotions, okay, discount coupons, so that you can, take 10% off or a few bucks off your total order. Right? So go to where they are. Don't expect that they'll come to you in your site. And when you're first starting out, that would definitely help jumpstart your traffic. Right? Now, this is also a great tool to get real-time feedback and spreading the word about your business. What does this mean? Right? If someone on your site finds your content interesting, how do you think they're going to express their excitement and share it with friends? When was the last time you called somebody to go look at a website? Right? They probably aren't going to call their friends and family and tell them to go to your website. It's possible, but highly unlikely, right? Are they going to email it out? Possible, more likely than calling a friend, but they aren't going to email your link in an email and send it, right? They're not going to copy paste that in the web browser unless it's super good content. All right, but again, when you're first starting out, you want to make it easy for your users to share your content and to allow you to go viral. Right? So then what happens? Guys, social media is the easiest way to share content with friends. Right? What they're going to do every single time when they read something interesting that they want to share, all right, they're going to click those oh so easy to use social media sharing buttons on your website. They're going to use Dig to share it on Twitter, to share it on Facebook, right? Social media is the easiest way, and that's why it's growing at such an exponential rate. By encouraging the use of social sharing on your site, you will increase your exposure tenfold. All right? Now, expanding your reach and network. If somebody shares your link in an email, how many people will see it? Because that is possible. I've gotten emails where a buddy of mine or somebody's going to say, hey, check out this cool little video of this cat. Or this was a great lecture on automating the business. Check it out. And there's a nice little link on there, right? But how many people will see it? Just me. Unless I pass the message on, right? Probably maybe one or two others. If somebody shares your link to your content on social media, guys, the impressions are unlimited based on the number of friends, likes, and comments and shares. Right? There's that term, going viral. Before you know it, there's 100,000 people reading it, 1 million, right? These YouTube sensations, that's how they get their start. They shared it. It's not 1 million emails that went out. It's the social media buttons and that helped it grow at an exponential rate. Okay? So hopefully now, if in case you were still not a believer or it did not, it didn't really sink in on our earlier sessions, hopefully now you understand why and why you must get social with your blog. Now the question remains how. Lauren's giving you some nice little tips, but I will share with you some of the things that we're going to be expounding on and talking more here in detail. Right? Now, what else are you going to pick up as part of this series? We're going to show you how to set up your branded social properties, okay? How to get active on Facebook pages related to your target market. We'll have a separate video series that you can watch step by step. We'll also integrate social media into your blog. Okay, we're going to talk about how to run an ultra cheap and easy Facebook contest to help build your email list and subscribers list. All right, and how to drive traffic to your blog that will result in opt-ins or people signing up onto your subscribers list and in sales with simple Facebook ads. Okay, this is not going to break the bank, and a great economical way, and a cool little trick on bootstrapping on how to drive traffic, build a list, and still get some nice sales as a healthy chunk that is popping up on there. Okay, so just as we continue on here, we're going to tackle some of these concepts. I do want to stress, hopefully by now you have set up your website and you are now at this stage. At the very least, you've got this funky looking blog on here that we can start to fill in the, add some meat on the bones and build this one out. All right. If you aren't quite there yet, watch the video series on how you can do that step by step. Now, those of you guys that are still on us, on us watching live, thank you for checking us out and hanging on this one. I'm not gonna. I want to give you guys a nice little extra thank you tip, as just staying on this long. Not very long, but hey, time is valuable. Definitely appreciate that. And I'm going to share a nice little cool tip for those of you that are looking to fill in your time, especially for the contributors and the people that we are branding as authorities in several different niches. I created a nice little YouTube video series step by step. Now, since you're on our list, you will get access to those raw video files. What do I mean by that? Raw video files. Let me get to the YouTube channel so that it makes a little bit of sense here for everyone. But yeah, I'm going to definitely make it worth your 1 hour and 30 minutes that you followed and watched us along here step by step. One of my playlists is the step-by-step 20K video series, along with all our original video replays in another video series. Okay, now, because you're a part of our list, you're in our network, and you followed along, step by step, I had created these how-to and walkthrough videos. Okay, now these have been and do have a tag in the video where it's got my contact information on there in the video. Okay, you're going to see that up on here. Email, this particular email. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you access to the original video files, and you can do a voiceover on these videos. Okay, number one, you can do a voiceover walking through the video. Or you can repost this video in your own YouTube channel. Okay, come up with your own playlist. And it's not going to have my email address on there so that people can join your subscriber list. Okay, it's not going to have my email in the video, but it's going to be a walkthrough tutorial. All right, and what this is going to do is it's going to help build your subscriber list, show people how to follow along step by step. That's number one. Help build your credibility and authority and activity online. Number two, it will allow you to build a subscriber list. Okay, and number three, you can start generating some sales online. Here's how that works. I talk about buying a domain name, for example, with Bluehost. Right now, in this particular video, all right, you are going to put in the description or in your blog post an affiliate link for Bluehosting. Okay, and because they watched your video and the video says there's going to be a banner on here, click it, watch it in its entirety. Click this later on so you can set up a Bluehosting account, or call me so I can help you out, right? Or send an email. Okay, and that would allow you to start generating some sales, or position you to start generating some sales as your channel gains authority and ranking over time. So you will get access. I can give you access to the original authority. The videos. Okay, you can simply repost them, or for those of you that are a little bit more gung-ho and have time on your hands, all right, my tip is you can also just redo these videos following the same format that I had done as you build out and document your process online. Okay, if you want the faster approach, use the original video file, upload it to your channel, and just put your phone number, your email, and your affiliate links on there. All right. We do have some members that are already generating, that have generated some sales using this particular strategy. They kind of were able to read between the lines, see the potential on there, which I think is pretty cool. And some of you guys are definitely thinking outside of the box. Are just chomping at the bits to build this funnel out. So even without a website, just on simple YouTube videos, people will appreciate the fact that you've put together this nice little video. It's on your channel. They can call you, they can email you, they can get some help. And you can start to build your authority online, build your list online, and generate some sales. So that's my little quick pitch there. For our accountability group, Steve, I know you're spearheading and organizing all the participants in the accountability group. Is that a clear action plan and game plan for you guys?
Yeah, this is great. This makes everything way easy.
Okay. And for now, when you guys are looking at these YouTube channels, simply just copy paste the information that is on there. You'll need to change the location to your local location, and of course change the phone number and the email as well. All right. Just want to throw that out there. Some people literally swipe it and upload it, but if it's got my contact info, I want them to go on your subscriber list. All right. Lauren, for our business clients and our professionals that may be in a different niche and are building this new channel from the ground up, everything clear on your end on how these videos can be maximized, on how you can actually start to build your authority, build your list, and generate sales online, affiliate commissions.
Yeah, all of that aspect definitely helps. So there's no questions on there. What I was more wondering, and I'm not sure if that's within your walkthrough videos, but where you reference changing the phone number or website in a YouTube video, do you have a walkthrough on how to do that? Because I know a lot of people on the business owner side don't have that tech savvy thing to be able to, do that or even know the first way to get started on that.
So you're saying how to change the title in the YouTube post, for example?
Not in the video, like where you have your name and your email address embedded inside the video, like in that little yellow oval.
That's not going to be in there, in the original video file.
Got it. Okay, so that's good to clarify, because I'm like, okay.
Yeah, so in the original video file, these were designed, it's just a video. We embellished and made it all fancy and nice and put the call to action banners around it. In the original videos, they do not have those features, so it's unbranded.
Got it. Okay. And then they can tell on there which ones, because it's more like I'll swipe yours and then they can swipe mine, kind of an idea, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And then also, I'm not sure if you saw, but we did have a question come in on the chat line from Anthony. Did you happen to see that comment?
No, I missed it. I've been on my slides the whole time. What popped up?
Yeah, Anthony says he may have missed it, but what type of blog do you find more effective? Readable, podcast, or video?
Readable, podcast, or video. Readable, podcast, or video. The website's going to be your main house, right? By building together your website, you're going to have articles, you're going to produce videos, and they will all go onto your particular website. The easiest and the shortest way that I've found is this experience right here. Starting to piece together the website, recreating these YouTube videos in your respective YouTube channels, to build your credibility, your list, and start generating income, commission sales from these videos. And then eventually you can go into stuff like podcasting or article marketing and start promoting it that way. But the website is going to be the main start. That's the source of it all.
Okay, so it sounds like video blog with videos is kind of the way that you're at least instructing us to get started.
Yeah, website with definitely videos. There's going to be articles that we're posting on there too. For now, we're going to zero in on the website, where we can talk about, we do have segments on like just YouTube or just podcasting, but this is like the foundation, right? Because once you get this, everything else makes a whole lot more sense. I have people that would jump right into podcasting, for example. They go straight into podcasting, and then 3 to 6 months down the line, they're like, "Oh man, I wish we had a website, because we need, in order to rank on Google, you need a website." So they go back, but they've got 3 to 6 months already put into it, and they've missed that whole window, right? Or they have to redo it. So I would say website first, and then we'll get into the other forms.
Okay, hopefully that clarifies it for him.
Awesome. All right, guys. Awesome session. I'm not going to keep you on here any longer. For those of you that did hang out and stay this long or are checking the tail end of it, that's my nice little tip and quick action plan for you guys to shortcut and maximize the time that you're spending here online building your sites and your blogs on how you can start the income generation side of it, even without your website. At the very least, guys, this will help build your authority and your ranking as we build out the particular website. All right. So thanks for hopping on. I'll see you guys on the next live session. It will be 12 noon tomorrow. Lauren, any last goodbyes, tips, tricks for the group before we jump off the session?
Nope, we're all good. I look forward to chatting with everybody tomorrow.
Excellent, excellent. Steve, you good to go on your end?
Yeah, great session. Thank you.
Awesome. So do get the pages to your website already set up. Get the plugins installed, and we will roll out the next phase here on a soft launch. We'll do some free traffic and some paid traffic for this particular blog. With that, guys, my name is Gil. Thanks for checking out our noon sessions. We'll see you on the next one tomorrow at 12 noon, Monday through Fridays, Pacific Standard Time. If you're not already on our list, there will be a pop-up balloon up above or contact information below so that you can join our list, start sending questions, and get started generating an income online in the form of a money blog or a website. Thank you very much, and have a great day. Bye-bye.